and reminding everybody to get yourself a weekend away.
Love that.
Oh, you say something. And this is Gaytriarchs.
So we're hanging out with some friends, and my son is there with his friend who is about the same age, and they're all talking about stuff. And we have told my son roughly how babies are made. A sperm comes from daddy. We had an egg donor, put them together, you know. And so he's recounting the story, and he turns to his friend and as loud as he can says, well, daddy made me from one of the tiny little hairs on his butt. In front of the kid's parents. And I'm like, where do we begin on unwinding this? Because somehow he had mixed one sperm from me into a tiny little hair on my butt.
And do you need to start waxing your butt?
I mean, clearly this was a passive aggressive. Yeah. So that's where my son came from. We plucked a little hair from my butt, and there we go. Child.
He is destined to be in all of the gifted and talented programs, isn't he? That is, I mean,
for Snark especially.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That is
it's
kind of awesome.
It is kind of awesome. And you know what's awesome was this week, it is obviously Pride Month. Happy Pride.
Happy Pride.
And
this week our pinnacle and our this
pillar.
Week it was going to be it was a mix of pillar and column. Apparently is pinnacle.
Okay. Right.
In my world. But it's all about beauty. And may I say, David, you and your tiny little butt hairs are looking particularly beautiful today. And both inside and out. And no, dear listener, I'm not looking at his tiny butt hair through our camera right now. But yet. My beautiful, beautiful son and I and my husband and my daughter all decided we were going to put our pride flag out because we live in a new house. This is our first pride in this new house. Mm-hmm. Where does the pride flag go? We're very excited, right? Your new house is not in Arkansas, with all due respect to listeners in Arkansas. In Arkansas.
We are in a very liberal area. We love our town. So we put it on the flagpole, and before we hang it up, my son goes, "Can I play with this in the yard before we hang it up?" I said, "Sure." So he goes out in the yard and he does his best faggoty color guard situation, right? With the pride flag, like it's a lot, right? And I realize I have to go inside to get something, and I stand up to go back inside, and I just have this feeling, and I go, you know, my son is in the front yard. It's a busy street with a pride flag. I just had these moments that we all do as gay people, especially as gay dads, where even though I feel safe in my neighborhood, people know we're gay. I was like, I don't think I need to. I don't think I can leave him. I think I need to be here. If a car drives by and says something, he is literally waving a giant pride flag at every car that drives by. And it was just this reminder, and it's not to get down at the beginning of the episode, but it was just like, there's no real rest for us, right? We can never fully put our guard down because there's just, and again, nothing happened. Everything was fine. I sat out there. He twirled that baton a couple of times and then we hung it up. But, you know, it was just a reminder that we as gay dads are always kind of slightly on the defensive. You call it a chip on our shoulder. I don't know.
Totally. And it is a pride march, as we are reminded constantly that we have to keep fighting for things. And I think the majority of the population is actually on our side, but it's true. Yeah. We do have some defensiveness that I don't know that we'll ever get rid of in our lifetimes, honestly.
We can't. I mean, for safety, just pure safety, you know, and like, there's also the line we talk about endlessly on this show, which is like how much you protect your kids and then how much you let your kids fail. And where is that line or whatever? Mm-hmm. And that was a situation where I don't want a car to drive by and throw something at him or call him faggot or whatever happens at 6. You know what I mean? Like start calling him faggot in middle school like the rest of us.
My God.
Is that too much? Sorry. That's the first time I ever heard that word.
Middle school, huh? Wow. You were
late bloomer. I mean,
that wasn't an elementary school
nightmare.
Thing?
No.
I know, but oh God, I heard it all the time in elementary school.
Well, you look like that, and I look like this, so that's why.
Speaking of absolutely nothing, So one of the things that we've been dealing with over the last week is my kid suddenly at the last second trying to hit a deadline for a fundraiser that he's doing for soccer. And, did you have to go door to door as a kid selling world's finest chocolate or something?
Yes,
right?
exactly.
Did you do world's finest?
Yes,
Was
the ones that are like
universal thing.
They're not hexagon. They were like a parallelogram
Bricks.
shape. And yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Of mediocre chocolate. I mean,
Yeah.
in fact, to my knowledge, I don't even remember actually even tasting world's finest chocolate.
Oh, I remember it because they had they had like almonds in it or something.
Big
And I was
nuts.
like, you've ruined a perfectly good chocolate bar
For
by putting
a first
fucking
grader
nuts in there.
Yeah, for a first through fourth grader selling world's finest chocolate door to door without probably parental supervision, just walking down the street trying to sell stuff to people. It was the worst, wasn't it?
It was the worst. It was terrible. Yeah.
But do you feel like you learned something helpful in A, talking to strangers, B, having to get the gumption? I mean, maybe, probably neighbors that you knew, but getting the gumption to ring a doorbell, stand there, give a sales pitch, wait for the awkward silence of the person not wanting to buy this shitty chocolate, and then having to follow through and everything. Do you see what I'm getting at? Is like, I think these are lost skills. Like, our kids don't know how to call the neighbor's house and say, "Hi, Mrs. Johnson, is David there? Can we get together and touch
touch weenies?" That is... You all heard it here, listener. Listener.
My sarcasm was ahead of my words.
That is the funniest fucking Freudian slip I've ever heard in my entire life. Hi, Mrs. Johnson. See home so we can touch weenies. Wow. Okay. Well, we're getting a little info into Gavin's childhood here.
Anyway,
I think what you're saying, I hear what you're saying. Here's what I'm afraid of. Okay. I'm afraid that you're categorizing things as lost skills is just outdated skills, things that aren't necessary. And then it's the same thing. Like, well, when I was a kid, we did this. Well, we don't need to do that anymore. Is it necessary to do that? Because my only memory was I fucking hated it. And I was just there to get to my tier to get my Furble or whatever the toy was.
Yeah, whatever the toy was. Yeah, the treat at the end of it. Yeah, I only sold enough. I'll never forget. I'm talking about dating myself, of course, to get a Pac-Man board game. I wanted a Pac-Man board game. In 1955.
Just a tin can and a string. I got my first phone.
I think these are skills that are really important, though. Being able to talk to strangers, calling somebody on the phone, and I occasionally, when my
that
kids
I don't
say,
think is as important.
Oh, when you call somebody, I want them to be able to say into the phone, "Hi, Mrs. Johnson." Well, occasionally, if my kids are like, "Hey, I want to go hang out with Aiden," and Aiden doesn't have a phone, I say, "Well, then you," and I hand the phone over, and now they're used to doing it, and it's awkward, but fine. My point is, there is an awful lot of time that I've been texted by friends about fundraisers for their kids. And they're like, "Hey, my kid's just doing this thing." And sometimes it's Girl Scout cookies, but sometimes it's like, "Hey, my kid's doing this thing. Can you contribute?" And I'm like, you know what? Yes, I will contribute, but put an asterisk in that. We're going to come back to it. But second of all, I'm like, I want your kid to ask me, though. I need the kid to do the work. I'm not just going to passively send you money so that your kid does the thing, right? So I made my kid make some videos. They were personalized, like, "Hey, I did not send you one because I know that you have 6 mortgages to pay, but you don't have any money, so you're welcome." But and he made a little video about, "Hey, would you contribute? I'm selling actually raffle tickets, which is really nice, to win a trip to Italy," which you actually feel like, "Oh, this is worth $10 for me." So listener, if you want to,
I would way rather spend $10 on an Italy raffle than $10 on shitty chocolate.
Totally. Yeah. But anyway, we sent the videos out. But here's the whole point of me bringing this up was not to talk about Mrs. Johnson and her son and his weenie. Was the guilt I suddenly feel when I actually haven't given people money for their kids' fundraisers, and now what goes around comes around. And I'm like, oh my God, I swear, listener, that I will give money to your kids' fundraisers going forward, because now suddenly I'm in the thick of it, needing to ask people for money, and I think it sucks. I hate fundraisers.
You heard it here, everyone. Send your fundraiser requests to Gavin at Gavin Lodge, wherever you find your internet. Listen, I think what it's the heart of your meandering monologue is having kids develop a skill of
Yes.
communication with other people, be it adults or kids, is important.
Yeah.
And I totally agree. One of the things that we do, and it's been an uphill battle, but I will say they are on it now, is when we go to a restaurant or a diner, they have to order to the waiter and they have to say it to them. And so we've worked on say it clearly, look in their eyes, say it loudly, say please, all that kind of stuff. And now, at first, listen, they would cry. They didn't want to do it. Please don't make me do it. Please don't make me do it.
Particularly your daughter.
Yes, but now they're totally good about it. They're like, "Can I have the pancakes, please?" And it makes me very happy because I would agree with you. That is a skill that I think does transfer to 2026, where using tin cans to communicate with your your friend is not necessarily a skill that translates.
Okay, so all of that to say, fundraisers and talking to strangers. And I do wish, I don't want my kid to have to go through the hell of going down the street and asking him, selling world's finest chocolate. But I think knocking on doors and talking to strangers is really important. Wow, that was a really necessary recap, wasn't it?
Oh my God, Gavin, that's exhausting. Okay, you know what's not exhausting and what is beautiful is my constant obsession with this sadness, nostalgia porn I'm being targeted with on TikTok. I talk about it every episode.
I saw this on the outline. And I'm like, is this porn that makes you come then cry?
No, he's like, Gavin, you're like, is he going to talk about the same shit over and over again? Yes. And I am so fucking targeted by this shit and I hate it. And I stew in it every time. And finally, I was looking at one of the comments of one of these videos and somebody put into words what I have wanted to say or have felt so long. So I'm just going to read it to you. This is just a random guy, BRAL147, I don't know, on TikTok. And it was one of these videos about like, oh, you're going to miss it and hold them tight because they grow up so fast, blah, 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 blah. Here's this comment. I hate these things. The amount of pressure it puts on us to savor every single second is silly. I have 2 kids and the time does pass fast. But a lot of it is simply just hard work. There's beautiful moments. The highs are the highest you've ever felt, and I love them like no other love in the world. But there's also constant exhaustion. My own needs being dead last, tantrums, broken sleep, and someone always needing me in some way to the point I barely know what I even like anymore. Memory is a highlight reel, but it's okay not to enjoy every moment or to soak it in all the time. It's fine to just be there. It's fine to wish some days away. The time will pass as it should, and there's nothing we can do about it. So there's no point holding this anticipatory nostalgia. Just live it right now in whatever form it's taking. Whatever your name is, Bra L147, thank you for putting it in such. It's exactly how I feel. Anticipatory nostalgia. Fuck. That is exactly what they're doing. And so thank you out there for writing this thing. It really made a difference for me in just being like, okay, I'm not the only person who feels fucking attacked when this shit happens. And somebody's saying, listen, I don't have to savor, I don't have to ingest everything and anticipate that there's this nostalgia ahead of me and I'm going to somehow chip away at that nostalgia and that pain that you're going to feel. No, you're not. Just fucking live in the moment. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say.
That was excellent. But the thing is that going to make you stop watching it? Are you now going to scroll past it faster so that your algorithm changes or what? Or are you still going to indulge in it?
I'm not. You're right. That's a good question. I don't necessarily indulge in it, but I do watch a lot of them. So I think I will now start saying not interested and see if I can kind of get out of this algorithmic thing. Because listen, if there's a video of a kid punching his dad in the balls, I'm in. Let me be on that side of parenting TikTok. But this shit is too much. So yes, you're right. I need to be more active in adjusting my algorithm to where it doesn't.
Mindfulness, David. Yes. Mindful parenting.
Yes.
Speaking of mindful parenting, today I'm starting a new ongoing thing that we're really going to commit to in this podcast, and that's called Dad Hack of the Week. What would you do? Because I'm looking for answers. Okay. You can
wait. It's Dad Hack of the Week, or what would you do, or both?
This is me saying, "Hey, listener, give me the hack. What would you do?"
Okay. All right. Okay.
I had to have a battle with my daughter putting on sunscreen the other day. My daughter, who is not 5 years old, mind you, and is still battling me on sunscreen. Of course, she's of the generation now suddenly who thinks that they all want to burn. And when she says, well, when I burn, then I just get a tan afterwards. I'm like, oh, sweetie, you've got Norwegian skin. You got to think about this. And so you don't look old and wrinkly like David when you grow up. So now my son, luckily, the hack for him was simply like, here, this is you taking agency. You put it on yourself, and I'm going to watch you. I won't touch your face, but you have to put it on your entire face and your neck and your ears. And so him doing it on his own actually is helpful. My daughter takes an eighth of a pea-sized dollop of sunscreen, puts it on the tip of her nose, and then goes running away until I have to chase after her and make her scream and cry. So anyway, anybody out there, what would you do to get the sunscreen onto your kids? Please, even with a teenager, I need help.
My husband is more, I think we know this, is more patient than I am. And he does like the cream stuff. He has like a little applicator thing with a sponge on it. I am a spray.
What? That is fancy.
Well, it's not actually. You get it on Amazon. Maybe this is the hack. It's like a soft tube, and on the very end of the tube is like a piece of foam that has like a hole in it. So you fill it up with whatever sunscreen you want, and then you squeeze it through the sponge, and then you use the sponge to kind of do it on their face. So the hack that my husband would use when he would use that would be like, I'm going to paint your face. Like, I'm going to paint your face. And what color do you want it? I want it to be blue. Okay. Then now we're talking about very young kids. So we would like paint their face, and it would be blue, and we would go, oh, look at your blue face. Now I am a spray and go. So when we go outside every morning and I spray the shit out of them, and they through tears and fighting, I just say, close your mouth, close your eyes. I spray their face, I'd spray their legs and arms or whatever. And that's it. But yeah.
And it works.
It works. It works again. After the uphill battle of years of crying, now they've just given up.
Yeah.
Which I think is where we're all aiming for. Have your children give up.
In all parenting, finally, if they would just understand, how often do I say to them, you're not going to win this battle, so just give up now.
Just give up. We all have. Like your parents have given up. Yeah.
Well, you know who has not given up is the topic of our news of the week, which the news is all terrible. But I do want to highlight that Colorado Governor Jared Polis, who has done some pretty controversial things of late. So some people might hate him, but we are cancel culture here, right? So yes. We are, because we're nothing but hypocrites. And Jared Polis, again, also gay governor, Colorado, who has not been, I believe, our DILF of the week, but should be at some point. Anyway, he signed a gay conversion therapy malpractice bill this week, which actually means that anybody who has suffered through gay conversion therapy can now sue the folks who put them through that. And I think that is excellent news of the week. I know. It's great.
Hitting them in their wallets is always the best, right? Because shame doesn't work. It's just their wallets. Yeah.
It's all about the wallets. So I love that. Thank you, Governor Polis, for standing up for what is right.
Yes.
Now, speaking of beauty, right? I do want to highlight our DILF of the week. So you might know that the World Cup is going on, the Tonys for the straight hot set. And so our DILF of the week is Cristiano Ronaldo. Now, have you heard of Cristiano Ronaldo?
I have not. I literally, before we started recording, Googled hottest soccer players, and his name came up, and I said, okay. Never again. You're asking the wrong queen. I am not a sports queen.
He is 5 times in a row been FIFA's world's best player, which you were the one who actually shared that information with me, but I wasn't surprised. My son is a huge worshiper of Ronaldo. In fact, Ronaldo is his player more than Messi, but it depends on the day. And by Messi, that is a player's name, not just being Messi. You're welcome, David. Mm-hmm. But Cristiano Ronaldo is a father with 2 children. And he has even been voted, according to who knows what, being super, super generous. He gave $5 million to victims of an earthquake in Nepal, which is very cool. But that is not why he's our DILF of the week.
No, that doesn't matter.
Tell me, David, why is he our DILF of the week?
Because he looked good in short shorts. That's it. That's all we care about here. Yep. On Gaytriarchs. He's very hot and end of list. Yes, and he's generous, he's rich.
Mr. Ronaldo, we can't wait for you to come be a guest on Gaytriarchs because let's face it, with a body like that, You're a little bit gay. Speaking of things that are a little bit gay, David, it's our top 3 list.
Gaytriarchs top 3 list. 3, 2, 1.
This is my week. We are in my zone, which is loyalty programs. I fucking love a point. I get it. I'm a basic bitch when it comes to this shit. I fucking love it. I'm a whore for points. So here are my personal. Now I haven't done all the cards, all the points. I don't know all of them, but of my life, and none of these will be surprising if you're a listener of this show for very long. Okay, so number 3, United credit card. Now, if you fly one airline a lot, like if you're near Atlanta and you have a Delta hub, or you're near Newark and it's a United hub, getting a card with that airline, best decision ever. A, you can get status faster. B, free bags, zone 2. Like you get a lot of really great shit. And then you get points and you get free flights. And so if you fly enough, I think I fly probably 10 times a year. I fly quite a bit. Like you get a ton of shit and you get free upgrades on the United card. I got upgraded to first class from Appleton, Wisconsin to Chicago. It was a 23-minute flight. But bitch, I was awful for those 23 minutes. I was like, don't look at me, poor people. I was like, I sat up straighter. I didn't want immigrants in my country. Do you know what I mean? Like I fell victim to it. So
how did it feel? For 20 minutes, you were a Republican and entitled and insufferable, which is,
don't give me money. I'm taking away your rights. I'm taking totally. The second I get money,
did you get champagne or a happy ending in that 20-minute flight? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I got champagne. If you follow me on Instagram, I know that I think it was actually a close friend story. Anyway, I did a whole thing because there was this woman next to me. Again, flying. This was also a 7 a.m. flight. Flying. I did
see this.
Yes. From Appleton, Wisconsin to Chicago. And she ordered an espresso martini. It is 7 in the morning.
No judgment,
and I was
girl.
Like, and then she spent the whole flight watching short, like TikTok clips of Family Feud, the Steve Harvey version, at full volume on her phone. And I said, this is a girl I want to know. This is a girl that has stories to tell. Okay, so number 3, United credit card. Number 2, obviously, Costco executive.
Oh,
If you are not a Costco executive, what the fuck are you doing in your life? First of all, the normal cost to join Costco, I think, is like $65 a year. That's the gold member. You don't want to do it. That's just for poor people. If you're an executive, yes, it is $130 a year. Not only do you get 2% cash back on all your purchases, you get all these, you get all a bunch of things. Like even if you don't like get enough money back in the first year, they'll give you back your fee. You can return anything. We just returned air conditioners today that we had for months. We were just like, we don't want them anymore. But the best thing about being a Costco executive member, the first hour of every day is just for executive members. It is like being on a flight from Appleton, Wisconsin to Chicago in first class. It is like you're around your people. Do you know what I mean? Like we're all trash, but we're elevated trash. And if you've ever been to a Costco, they're nightmarish. The parking lots are terrible. The checkout is stressful and it's busy. Not during executive hour, babe. It is calm. It is quiet. There's just cashiers waiting for you. Costco executive.
What I'm shocked by is that this was not your number 1. Dear Lord, don't hold us. Don't keep us in suspense anymore. Please tell us. What is number 1 for you?
Gavin, you have to know number 1. The Wendy's app.
The Wendy's.
Guys, if you're sleeping on the Wendy's, if you're a new listener to this show, I've spent a good 20% of my time on the show talking about the Wendy's app. If you go to Wendy's ever, get on the Wendy's app. A, you get the points. We get it, right? Like points are points. The points buy you free shit. However, they have coupons as well. Every day minimum, there's $3 off. $3 every time you go. That's a lot of money. And then you're building points and you can use them together. Guys, the Wendy's app, it's amazing. And my favorite thing in the world is when I used to go to Wendy's like 3 days a week, when there was one by our old house, there was always this guy at the front window I'd see all the time. It's really embarrassing when the guy at the Wendy's recognizes you. But I would stack all these coupons and I would have a $30 lunch order and it would go down to like $9. And he would go,
nice.
He would always go, dude, how'd you do that? I was like, baby, the Wendy's app. So number one, the Wendy's app. What about you?
Oh, that was particularly.
Have you ever heard me come more alive than talking about these? Okay, all right.
Never. Aside from insulting me, I think this was you as your,
my two favorite things.
Most David self. Yeah. Yes. Okay. Number 3 for me, the J. Crew loyalty program. I do have to say, we probably wear way too much J. Crew, frankly, because it's just basic bitchness, and just plaids.
New England,
very New England.
white
It's
culture.
very New England,
Yeah.
right? But I do have to say, if you stay on top of it, they have lots and lots of coupons that you can cash in. And basically, they absolutely recycle all of their wardrobe every 3 or 4 years. And so we've gone around and been like, oh, I need a replacement for that exact same shirt. That now I'm already diverging. But if you stay on top of it, which huge surprise, I do not, you can really come away with some savings. Number 2, not just the Amex points, but when you actually choose the specific companies that you want to get deals with American Express. And I happen to choose Dunkin' Donuts because, again, New England. And suddenly I'm getting like $3 here, $3 there that are just like popping up as credits. And I'm like, hey, thank you. This makes me feel good about my Amex, And it's just like, we all need to feel good once in a while in this day and age, right? And number 1, I mean, Starbucks. Like, I go in there, and when I go to Starbucks versus Dunkin', I appreciate. Now, I don't keep track of the points like I once did, or the stars now. And in fact, the stars program is completely indecipherable for me. But every few months when I'm like, I wonder if I have any points, they'll be like, oh, yep, you got a free drink. Do you want to upsize to a Trenta Venti? And I'm like, no, I'm not that.
But also, I will also argue in favor of the Starbucks app. Ease of ordering, which I know is not like a loyalty program thing, but it's really easy to order, especially if you're in an airport. Like when I go to Newark Airport and there's a line out the fucking door for the Starbucks in Terminal A. Yeah. If you just go on the mobile order, you're getting your drink in 3 minutes.
Doesn't it always shock you that actually does work at the airport when there's a huge line? And I'm like, wow, this is actually working. Okay, fucking sweet.
Idiots.
Just poor people. Oh, poor people working so hard at Starbucks. Thank you for all you do and your loyalty to us. All right. Next week, I did want to say the McDonald's app is not actually bad either. And it always shocks me that how often you can get like free stuff here and there. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, I'll take a free small fry. I'll do that. All right.
But
with
do you need, not during Pride Month though. You got to keep that waist snatched until July 1st. Then you can let it all go again.
All right. So speaking of not keeping your waist snatched, I want to know for next week, what are your top 3 kids meal deals? Per usual, we are punching well above our weight here at Gaytriarchs as we bring people who are smarter, creativer, and beautifuler than we are. Today's guest is exactly that, with a fabulosity as a branding specialist, creative director, and overall executive in very much in the beauty space. She used to work with Estee Lauder and Clinique, but now she started her own company called East. She's also, disclaimer, a dear friend of mine living in rural Connecticut, here to talk with us about how we can retain our fleeting youth and beauty as part of our Forward Pride pillars. A big old fan of the gays, and not just at Pride, Melissa Conrad. Hi, Melissa.
Hi.
Thank you. Thanks for the build-up. I hope I meet expectations.
We actually set. No listener out there has anything but low expectations for us, so don't worry, you will exceed them.
We set the bar as low as possible, so everyone who walks through our door looks really good.
So, Melissa, you and I know each other because we are both parents, and tell us, how has your kid driven you bonkers today?
Well, as we were talking about before we joined, there's the neurovirus at school. So Ben's been home studying for finals. And I don't really know what's going on up there, but I'm trusting.
None of your business, honestly. None of your business what's going on.
Yes, as an audio platform, our listener did not see you put quotes around the word studying, but I can relate. I mean, the amount of requests I've had for more TikTok time over the last 48 hours at the same time that my daughter is supposedly freaking out, and I would put that in quotes, about her freshman year of finals. I'm like, okay, this is not going. I am very curious to see how this all turns out next week.
Yeah, me too, especially with this neurovirus experiment, but we'll see.
So I'm curious.
Anyway, so this morning he wasn't up when I left. I got home. He's just waking up, getting breakfast. I'm like, can you have some fruit? Because my MO in life is, I'm like the Italian mother wanting, pushing food constantly on everybody, except it's not cannolis and amazing ravioli. It's fruits and vegetables and stuff that no kid wants to eat. So I'm like, can you have your fruit? This literally happens every morning. Sure. And then I come in, the banana is still sitting there. And so I'm like, Ben, can you have the fruit? Yeah, I'll come down. And then, I ask like maybe 10 more times. And then finally he's like, oh, I just brushed my teeth and put my Invisalign back in. Really?
Yeah, that's a battle that has probably all of us can relate to and never changes. But at the same time, I think you probably set a different standard because I don't want to eat fruit either, frankly. So
gross. I'd rather have cinnamon toast. I also want cinnamon toast crunch in the morning. Like I also want the cake that we left out on the countertop. But in front of you, oh no, we should eat fruits and vegetables and whole foods and all that kind of stuff. Also, what you said, and I know you guys are at a different level of parenting than me, but the idea of like, he wasn't awake when I left. My brain breaks because my kids are 6. Right? They're 6 and 4. Like I get up at 5 a.m. every day so I can have a little bit of time before those monsters wake up and ruin my life. So it is crazy to me to think that you can someday I just get up and I just get to leave the house and whatever state they're in, that's the state they're in.
And you will still be annoyed with them also because it goes from waking up at 5:45 on their own to 10:45 and you think I can't keep tiptoeing around the house trying to be quiet so that you don't yell at me. So endless. So Melissa, has your parenting journey followed the trajectory that you expected when you became a mom?
I mean, yes and no. I think you never understand how much it's really going to take out of you. But I think that, the fear of how am I going to balance it, between work and life and kid has been easier than I thought it was going to be. That's also coming from a parent of one child. And I do have to say, I think that is a million times easier than multiples. Like I can't even wrap my brain around what it's like to have more than one.
But usually parents, I feel like, don't learn that lesson until they've had a second kid. And then they have a day where they only have one kid for whatever reason. And then they realize the lesson. So somehow you are ahead of the game where you're realizing, oh yeah, one is actually not that hard. Because when I had just one, I was like, there's nothing harder than this. Nothing is harder than this. And then I had 2 and I went, there it is. That's hard.
This is harder.
No, it's all relative. I mean, how do people manage 4 and 6 kids? I can't imagine it whatsoever. But I mean, when you have one kid, you have all of the worries and all of the stress also placed upon that one kid also, which I would imagine. Speaking as an only child, I know that that is there's a lot of expectations there put into one bundle of joy as well.
I mean, I think that's the hardest part is just making sure that you're not this overwhelming parent who's constantly on them about everything. So we try to temper that, actually.
Yeah.
So you are aware of it and how do you actively
100%.
Avoid putting all of the expectations upon him?
I mean, I think it's, we don't go down those stereotypical rabbit holes of, you need to do this and this and this, and you need to exceed, and we're expecting this of you. It's all very much kind of a give and take with us. Encouragement, but not overwhelming, pressure on him. There's so many kids with so many pressures out there right now, and we do not need to be the next level of pressure. He gets it enough. I mean, he's a kid who feels it internally, even when it's like the smallest thing that we're, challenging him on. So, we're not obviously going to lay it on any thicker than we need to.
Melissa, when Gavin pitched you for the show, I got really excited because I think I am the beauty industry's target, which is if I see one TikTok that says, if you rub whale farts on your eyes, you're going to look 10 years younger. I have bought 10 cases of whale farts immediately. No question, no Googling, no research whatsoever. So I'm very excited to have you on because I think we want to kind of parse through the industry in general, about beauty and what works and what doesn't, which I think is probably the question you get asked more often. But I think also what would be interesting is like children. Like, I know that sounds crazy, but I remember Gavin talking about his daughter doing skincare at like 8.
Mhm.
And you're like, what the fuck? You have 8-year-old skin. We're all aiming for 8-year-old skin.
Yeah. 100%. Which weirdly, that has subsided a little bit, and I wonder if it's because her algorithm or age have changed, or because they're targeting even younger kids now, or whatnot. But yeah, Melissa, where do you want to start, David? There was a lot of questions in there, starting with whale farts.
Yeah.
Melissa, whale farts, good or bad?
Yeah, how was that good? Does that get rid of wrinkles underneath your eyes? Is my question. Let's just start there. No, I think my question in general. Let's just start here. What is your role in the beauty industry? Like, tell us a little bit about your pedigree and how you got there.
So I have just kind of fell into it. I didn't come out of school saying I want to work in the beauty industry, but it just so happened that there were a ton of opportunities there. So my role has been working internally with beauty brands. So, within Estee Lauder and other companies, also at agencies, but mostly internal, where we develop everything from maybe the strategy behind what a product or a brand is going to be, all the way through to every single consumer touch point, down to like a retail store, and including like digital, social, and packaging and everything in between. So that is what I do. And then when I started my own agency, I basically am taking all of that expertise that I learned internally and bringing it to smaller startup brands, or established brands that are running into the same challenges that we ran into with the established brands that I worked on within Estee Lauder, where they need to reinvent themselves. They need a refresh, or they just need a super compelling campaign.
Yeah.
Is there a sensational difference between, say, a Clinique product or an Estee Lauder product, or the startups that you work with?
It depends on, it's all down to the formulations, and without getting like too into details and understanding like where everyone's formulating, there's probably not a huge difference. I mean, at the end of the day, a moisturizer has, some key components in it. I would say that there are brands out there who are more, what's the word I'm looking for? Rigorous about their ingredients, about their formulations, about their testing protocols. All brands are developed with different standards. So, for example, if you're taking like a Clinique versus an Estee Lauder, Clinique is hypoallergenic, so there's not going to be any allergens, including fragrance, in it. Whereas Estee Lauder, I think part of what the lure there is that it's got this beautiful fragrance. It's got certain textures that might have things that might irritate skin. But at the end of the day, a lot of it is the same. A lot of it is the same once you're working at this at this one level of formulation.
Yeah.
So if you're getting to like, is the Cetaphil at CVS the same as the Clinique moisturizer? As a person who's used both, I would say yes.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's a part of us as like consumers who know that a little bit, and we know that what we're buying is fragrance or texture or just like feel. Like, I know there's like the marketing of the products, like the actual containers and all that stuff is very important. It's like the fragrance industry. It's like, it's all about the product. But like, I love Origins products. I also know that they're probably similar to the Cetaphil, but I like the smell and feel of them for whatever reason, and I'm willing to pay a little bit more. But every dermatologist I've ever been with has been like, Aquifer, Cetaphil, like these are your home runs, heroes.
Yes.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah. And
also,
especially with something like Origins. Oh, sorry. Now go on.
Please, you're the one to talk.
Please stop him. He is the co-host who doesn't know what he's doing. Please.
No, especially with Origins, and not to nerd out on formulation, but I actually I worked for Origins. That was my biggest tenure at Estee Lauder. So
Origins.
Huge fan of the brand.
Yeah.
And what I loved about it was that sensuality piece. But those are essential oils that create those fragrances. A dermatologist would say, like, don't put that on your face because it could inflame you. Like a lot of people it doesn't, but some people it does. So everything is different for everyone. But I think you brought up a good point that I can use the Cetaphil product. Am I having like a major product experience over that? No. you know, like, but there's something about opening the beautiful package and feeling the texture of the more expensive cream and having that whole moment. You feel like you're treating yourself. I mean, it's like the difference between, you know, a boutique ice cream and, you know, whatever, Stop and Shop brand.
I'm really glad you didn't say Dairy Queen there, because some days I just want Dairy Queen soft serve.
Yes.
100%. I mean, I
like
love...
not some days, like all days.
And also like a private parking lot Dairy Queen, where you're like, you don't go there with friends publicly. You shamefully in a hat show up, order not those kid size, and you eat it quickly in your car. You throw it in the outside trash so nobody fucking knows. I heard from a friend. Yeah.
And I love a good boutique hard pack of ice cream as well. So it depends on the experience you're going for. But it does seem to me that so much of what you do then is, Melissa, is actually selling David on the boutique experiences. And you're like, I hope that he wants a special boutique experience, huh?
Yeah.
Totally. It's all about creating the world, especially nowadays. People are really, people are finding community in brands. You know, whether it's clothing or skincare or whatever, it's a thing. And people, you know, as we know, are on their devices. So it's like they feel like they're part of this whole world. And that's a lot of what we create with what we do in these too.
It is amazing how in a world with ever increasing connectivity, people are feeling more and more isolated, and they have to find these little mini communities, be it a Facebook group or an obsession over a particular skincare, that to find their community. It's an interesting social experiment. My question to you is, or not my question, I remember talking to a couple dermatologists. So I suffered from psoriasis for a really long time until recently I found like the dream medication that makes it perfect. But I remember a doctor saying to me, because I was asking him like, oh, I heard if you use Dr. Bronner's peppermint soap, I heard if you use this on my skin. And he said, you're trying to fix an inside problem from the outside. And so I'm curious, as your experience in the industry, what are some inside solutions for the outside problem of better skin?
Yeah, well, I mean, it goes back to me like pushing all the fruits and vegetables all the time. I mean, it really is. Your skin is the biggest indicator of your health. So I know that if I go out and drink the night before I wake up, I wake up with the bags under my eyes, puffiness, parching, all of that just does not look good. I have never witnessed it, but I've heard dermatologists being able to diagnose someone's skin issues literally by looking at them, by saying you have too much sugar in your diet, you have too much gluten, all of that. So I do, honestly, I think.
Or too much vodka.
Or too much vodka. Yeah, they're booze. Yeah, boozy face. I think that, I mean, honestly, that's the crux of it. And I don't mean to like get on this and be, you know, get on your podcast and be like, it's all about health. It's not about what you're putting on, but it is.
We are not pretending. Yeah, we're not pretending to be a root cause kind of podcast, but if we accidentally put it out there. Now, I remember a couple of years ago, or maybe it was last week, I don't even remember. I was over at your house actually early in the morning because I went for a run with your husband. And you came out and you squeezed a lemon into a glass and drank it with some water. And I thought, I wonder if that's her morning beauty routine, is drinking straight lemon juice and water, or was that just a random Sunday morning?
It was for probably like 20 years of my life. I was this like freak who would drink lemon juice and water every morning. That was the first thing I had. And then I replaced it with an equally freak thing where I don't eat for anywhere between 12 and 16 hours. So now it's just plain water or black coffee or plain tea. So
or vodka.
The lemon cannot fit in there.
Where does the parking lot Dairy Queen fit into that?
You can eat. The best thing about that is during the eating window, you can eat whatever you want. I mean, not whatever you want, but yes.
So obviously you're not doing the lemon diet in the mornings anymore. Do you feel like it was just time to have a different freak thing to do, or did it work for you for 20 years?
I think it worked great for 20 years. Although I do have to say, I am missing enamel on the inside of my bottom teeth.
Oh,
Yeah.
And I think it might have been the lemon.
So it was
it might be
something.
the lemon. Yeah.
ugh.
So I have a question for you because we are parents first on this podcast, but also we're Gavin second. So we are very. Oh,
Sorry.
Gavin. Oh, that was you. I thought that was Gavin ruining something.
No, but I do have a chicken trying to get into my office right now.
This is real life. Melissa, this is how it is to record a podcast with Gavin Lodge. He has chickens wandering into. We had a cold open a couple episodes ago that was Gavin yelling at a chicken. And I think some people think we're making it up. And I'm like, no. This is real life.
It's actually
Having been to Gavin's house, I do know that it's quite possible that chicken's trying to enter his office.
Yeah, it's too hot to keep the door closed, but now I have a chicken trying to lay an egg in the corner. Anyway, back to you, David.
I just want to get to, because we're already running out of time, but I want to get to some of this. We are gay men, we are parents, and I think we are trying to both look beautiful, but also teach our kids to have a healthy relationship with beauty, in that not just having the unattainable porcelain skin and not succumb to all the marketing that you do so well. So do you have like a piece of advice for us as parents on how to be good role models when it comes to like skincare and beauty in a way that's like, here's how we take care of ourselves, but here's not like an unattainable thing to aspire to. I think we lost her.
Or she's just thinking profoundly.
No, she's frozen.
We did have our power out just a little while ago, but she doesn't live near me. She's on a different power grid.
Let's just hold and see if she's. Oh, are you back?
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, I don't know what happened.
No, that's okay. So, did you hear the question I had asked?
No, not the full question.
So the question was basically, how do we as parents both like tell our kids, role model basically how to take care of your skin and how to take care of yourself, while also that fine line of not letting them fall into the trap of an unattainable goal with beauty and to buy all the things and to go crazy. Like, how do you as a parent suggest we ride that line?
I mean, it's tricky. It's tricky. I'm fortunate to only have a son because I think it's just so different with the girls. But this has been happening since forever, people, getting into skincare super early. I know there's a trend now because they are seeing things on TikTok. And, there was a huge spike in fragrance, 2 years ago, because all from these fragrance influencers. And I think that's what drove a lot of, people saying that brands have actually been marketing to kids. They aren't marketing to kids. They're marketing the way they're always marketing. It just happens that influencers have picked up on these products, and because they have this incredible web of influence, kids are finding it in places that they didn't find it before. But
there
actually,
isn't a secret cabal on Fifth Avenue that's trying to market to children and okay, that's a good. Now, if you were part of that cabal of marketers, would you admit it here on Gaytriarchs and expose yourself?
Never. No, but honestly, I do know I've worked with brands where it has happened to them, where they've suddenly popped off with, Gen Alpha, and it's tricky to navigate. It actually is it's complicated for them because they feel like they can't do certain things that might have been core to their, the way that they were talking or communicating before, because they know they have this audience that they have to protect in a way. So I didn't answer your question.
I'm used to it, honestly. I host a show with Gavin. He's never answered a question in his entire life. But so I just imagine like my kids wanting to do like a chemical peel at like 10, and I'm like, no, and to how to either protect them from wanting to do that, or how to explain to them that is the chemical peel for adults is to try to have your skin. You have the skin everyone's trying to have. Yeah.
Well, I mean, the easy way to do it would be to do what I do for all difficult things: outsource it. Take them to a dermatologist and have them talk
a great idea.
to an expert about it, But honestly, these kids are savvy too, and they probably watched enough TikToks to find out that they shouldn't be doing things like that. Kids do a ton of research
Yeah.
on stuff. So maybe
They don't
you
even
putting in
realize
their
how-
head. I mean, they might have watched one thing and said, I want to do this peel. But if they come and pitch it to you and you say, why don't you do a little bit more research on that and see what else you uncover? Is there someone who had a negative reaction to it? Is that really where you want to spend your money? Maybe they'll go back and they'll rethink it.
So, Melissa, one of my favorite things that you've ever said to me was when you were talking about how when you find out a gay person is in your presence and you say, I just think to myself, oh my God, thank God, my people. And that makes me think, what about the beauty industry could be TV scandal worth or movie worth? Why haven't we seen movies about the beauty industry? Or am I just not watching the wrong movies? How is that world?
I mean, I have to say, having grown up in it, it's a nicer world. I mean, it doesn't have the fashion stigma. I don't know why, because it could easily go there. It just doesn't. I think
it isn't the Devil Wears Clinique.
It's not the Devil Wears Clinique. No.
It's probably because the end product is you want peace, beauty, like all the things that you're aiming for practically are a calmer, less volatile thing. In fashion, you want edgy, you want people's heads to turn, but in beauty, you want kind of that softness. So it probably follows that, like that. It doesn't allow for the volatility because that would probably be bad for the skincare brand.
Probably. Yeah. I mean, yes. I think that there are different companies. I think Estee Lauder has always been known as, the family business, very respectful of people, very nurturing, kind. I can't say that about every beauty company that's out there. Anecdotally, I have heard that, it's a different situation in different places. But yeah, I mean, I think that there's plenty to be said, and I'm sure there could be some books written, but it is funny, yeah, that those things like that haven't come out. At least for the big giants. Like, I think things have come out on smaller, like little indie brands and stuff like that.
What was did you know about the musical? Let's bring it back to our roots here, Broadway musicals. There was the musical about Estee Lauder and what's her name? Remember that? War Paint. Did you ever hear about that show, Melissa? It was in 2018, 2017. And the main characters Estee Lauder was a person, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Estee Lauder and the other character, I don't remember who it was, but another giant of the makeup world. This was specifically makeup, not skincare, to be honest. And it was, a huge flop, and nobody went to see it, and it closed really quickly. But, that's bold for two musical theater writers.
It was Helena Rubinstein and Elizabeth Arden. That's who the two people were.
Oh, okay.
It was basically about them trying to build their brands, and then,
Well, that was glad we went down that path. I should have prepped for that.
I just Googled it, honestly. No.
I know. I know. All right. Well, Melissa, so the takeaways for the conversation here also, I want to leave our listeners with a little gem, which is definitely moisturize, but Cetaphil is just as good as anything fancy, but be sure that you do it, especially frankly,
100%.
when you're in your 20s or even early 20s and have a regimen, right?
And I made it sound like it's all internal. It's not. There are some key things. Cleansing is critical. And even if feel like your skin, if you haven't put makeup on or anything, the pollution in our world is, it's not good for anything, especially our skin. So making sure that you cleanse really well, especially at night, a moisturizer to protect your skin barrier. And I would say that's it, I mean, yes, you can do, I'm actually working on a new dermatologist brand. And so she prescribed me some things like retinoids and things like that I'm experimenting with now. I'll let you know.
Okay, great. I'll have a follow-up. Imagine Melissa comes and her face is completely green. She's suddenly Elphaba in just a few months.
A girl I work with literally just got a vampire facial where they take blood out of you and then they basically prick your skin with your own blood so you look like a fucking monster. And it was like, she said it was like $1,000. Yeah. And I was like, and of course, immediately I was like, where do I go? How do I do that? I want to do that.
want to be in the
I
club.
can't say I haven't done stuff like that. I mean, I've done lasers and things like that. But in terms of like everyday skincare, honestly, hydration, cleansing and hydration is the key.
Love that. I love the simplicity of that.
All right. Well, and do your husband or son take those beauty tips from you? Do they cleanse and moisturize as well?
They do, not to the level that I do. And I have to constantly be asking Ben to put sunscreen on. But
yeah. And
but
that's
pretty good about
the main
doing it, you know.
That's the main key right now. That's the advice to all.
Oh yeah, sorry, that was the part that I forgot. Yeah, sunscreen. Honestly, if you want to look great, get out of it.
What about under eye creams? Are they helpful? I
used to use eye creams, because they say that the skin is thinner there and it needs to be treated differently. I just use my regular moisturizer there. I'd never put anything irritating there, like a retinoid or a vitamin C or anything like that. But if it's a straight just hydration moisturizer, I put it close to my eyes and it's fine.
Well, unrelated or not to skincare, will you tell us about that time that you earned your parenting merit badge as a parent to Ben?
So this kind of goes back to food. And by merit badge, you mean like this is like the worst thing that you could have done, right?
Like how did you earn your parenting merit badge? By going through something terrible. Yeah.
Boy, am I a parent right now.
All right. So it was the year after COVID, and we are all chomping at the bit to go on this vacation that we've actually had to cancel already because we forgot to renew Ben's passport. So we finally are on our way to JFK, and Ben's like, you got to pull over. I have to throw up. And I'm like, oh God, what's going on here? But by the time we get to the airport and we were sleeping over the night before and everything, I'm like, it was just a bug, or he was on his device and he was car sick and it was nothing. So we're good. We're going on this vacation. Like we're not missing a beat. So we get there and we're all settled in. We're in Honduras and he's like not quite himself, but I'm like, oh, he's just recovering from that car sickness or from whatever happened. So we're like, okay, but I'm still, because I'm like so food driven, I'm like, okay, Dad and I are going to go out to eat for dinner and you can get room service and you can just hang in the room because I know you're not feeling that well. But I'm like, but you've got to eat. Like you didn't eat anything today. You threw up all your food yesterday. So we order him this giant burger, just like oozing with juice and fries and all of that stuff. And before we're walking out the door, I'm like, Ben, please eat. Like, please just take a few bites of this burger. And so he does. And Will and I take off. We not only decide to not go to the hotel restaurant, but we hop on a boat and decide to go to town.
Sure.
And by the time we've come out of our bliss of like, okay, we're in Honduras after being cooped up in our house for a year and a half, we get out our phones. And Ben has been nonstop texting us. He's thrown up all over the bedroom. Needless to say, we're like, can you just turn us around? And we need to go back. We never even made it to dinner. But I mean, the poor thing, like, I think like 20 minutes had gone by. And it was all because I was forcing him to eat this big burger and he was still sick. So yeah, but the good news is we laugh about it.
Yep.
But you were so delusional in that, like, I want to be on this vacation so bad. He can't be sick. So he must not.
He can't be
right?
sick.
And then you're like, you look
sick.
Back and you're like, he was clearly sick. Yeah.
He was clearly sick. And not only did we abandon him, but I forced him to eat a burger.
Red meat in Honduras at a hotel.
Whipping with cheese. Yeah.
Well, I mean, Melissa, we have confessed to it a lot worse than that on this show, but it's nice to know that other people are making just as much huge mistakes and just as much an ass of themselves as the rest of us are. So thank you. Thank you for demeaning yourself by being on our stupid little podcast.
Thank you, Melissa.
Well, thanks for having me.
Something great this week is something that I learned on the TikToks or the Instas or whatever it was about the Pride March in Durham in the UK. Have you heard about any of this? Mm-mm. So in Durham in the UK, I guess back in 1984, Margaret Thatcher fired a whole bunch of miners. We know about that because we both saw
Billy Elliot.
Billy Elliot, right? And so apparently the miners were so screwed that strangely, there were a lot of gays in London who actually came to their rescue and would do fundraisers and whatnot. And the miners never forgot that. And consequently, in the 80s, a lot of miners would march in pride parades, actually, alongside the gays in maybe London or elsewhere. And so then most recently in Durham, in the UK, the local council, for whatever reason, zeroed out their pride parade budget and pride march budget, and the miners were like, over our not dead bodies, you're not going to do that. So they actually rallied and raised more money than the pride parade has ever been granted in Durham, and consequently they have had a fabulous pride march, and that is because of the old school union between the miners and the gays of Durham. And isn't that a nice story that we need in this day and age? Happy Pride.
That is something great. And also, maybe you should have a little segment like Gavin's Gay History or something like that.
Start another program. Great.
Yeah. We need more bits for you to not be prepared for. So this past week, it is Pride. There are 1,000 prides. There's prides everywhere, and we're loving it. We had friends that just recently moved like 2 hours upstate from where I live in New York City, middle of nowhere on a dirt road, similar to where you live, I'm sure, Gavin. And we went to visit them. And while we were there, they were like, oh, hey, our tiny little town, Red Hook, New York, is having their pride. Do you want to swing by? It's probably just like a parking lot thing with like a table and chairs, like who knows? And we're like, yeah, let's swing by. And so we went, and it was just everything you want Pride to be. First of all, it was tiny. It was in a parking lot of a bank, but there were a ton of people there, and it was all focused for kids. Everything was free. You couldn't buy anything. There was free ice cream. There was free table to make bead bracelets. There's free coloring table. There was a band playing on stage. There was a bake sale from some like a gay straight alliance of the high school, and it was all just so wonderful because when you go to a small town, similar to the story I started the episode with, you're just a little on guard. You're just like a little waiting for the MAGA trolls to come out of the woodwork. And to be in that tiny little town and see this vibrant pride was so heartwarming. And then on top of that, as I was obviously buying stuff from the bake sale, because I'm not going to turn down a fucking cupcake, the woman said, well, there were some planning issues, and like the Pride committee basically said they were going to cancel this and just do the regular one at the bigger town next door. And the high school students said, fuck no, we need this. And they put this on. That's awesome. Red Hook Pride in Red Hook, New York was put on by the high schoolers all by themselves. The band on the stage was clearly high school students. There was like a little group of them in front, like cheering them on. It was... And then the band on stage, listen, I don't know who they are, but like very straight presenting, wearing pride capes. Like it was just everything you want. And so I'm leaving this something great with, I think the kids are all right. And that's our show. If you have any comments, suggestions, or general compliments, you can email us at GaytriarchsPodcast@gmail.com.
Or you can DM us on Instagram. We are at GaytriarchsPodcast. On the internet, David is at David FM Vaughn everywhere. And Gavin is at Gavin Lodge on Rewriting Everything All the Time.
Please leave us a glowing 5-star review wherever you get your podcasts.
Thanks. And we will celebrate beauty with you next time on another episode of Gaytriarchs.